You know what's funny, Zach? This morning, I was brushing my teeth, half asleep, scrolling on my phone, already stressed about the day, and then suddenly the water stopped. No water, just like that. I stood there, toothbrush in my mouth, thinking, wow, I'd never really appreciate running water until it's gone.
That's so real. It's like that saying, you don't know what you've got till it's gone. We take so many things for granted, especially the small stuff. Running water, electricity, Wi-Fi. I swear, the moment Wi-Fi drops, people act like it's the end of the world.
Exactly. And that moment made me think about gratitude. People always talk about it like it's this big, deep, spiritual thing. But honestly, gratitude sometimes starts with the most basic things: clean water, a quiet morning, even just being able to breathe normally.
Totally. I think a lot of people misunderstand gratitude. They think it means pretending everything is perfect or forcing yourself to be positive all the time. Like, smile more, be thankful, don't complain. But that's not real life, is it?
No, not at all. Gratitude doesn't mean your life is sunshine and rainbows. It means you can admit life is hard, but still find something worth appreciating. Like saying, yeah, today sucked, but at least I had a good cup of coffee.
Coffee saves lives. But you're right. Gratitude isn't about ignoring problems. It's about changing how you look at them. It's kind of like adjusting the lens on a camera. Same picture, different focus.
That's a great way to put it. So if someone asked you, what is gratitude? How would you explain it in plain English? No fancy words.
I'd say gratitude is simply noticing the good things that are already in your life instead of constantly chasing what you don't have. It's that pause where you go, okay, this isn't perfect, but it's enough for now.
I love that. Enough for now. Because we're always rushing, always wanting more. Better job, more money, bigger house, better body. We live in this constant not yet mindset.
Yeah, like happiness is always somewhere in the future. I'll be happy when I get promoted. I'll relax when I finish this project. But then you reach that goal, and guess what? Another goal pops up. It's a never-ending cycle.
Exactly. And that's where gratitude kind of interrupts that cycle. It brings you back to the present moment, like, hey, look around. This moment isn't so bad.
You know, I learned that the hard way. A few years ago, I was working crazy hours. I mean, nonstop. Early mornings, late nights, weekends, no days off. I kept telling myself, just push through. It'll be worth it.
Let me guess. Burnout?
Oh yeah, full-on burnout. One day I woke up and just felt empty. No energy, no motivation. And the worst part, even though I had achieved what I wanted, I couldn't enjoy it.
That's the scary part. You work so hard, and when you finally get there, you feel nothing.
Exactly. And that's when a friend told me something that stuck with me. He said, you're so busy chasing the next thing that you forgot to appreciate how far you've already come. That hit me like a ton of bricks.
Oof, that kind of truth hurts, but in a good way.
Yeah. After that, I started doing something really simple. Every night before bed, I'd think of just one thing I was grateful for. Not 5, not 10, just one. Some days it was big, like support from my family. Other days it was stupidly small, like I didn't get stuck in traffic today.
Hey, not getting stuck in traffic is a blessing.
Absolutely. And over time, I noticed something weird. My life didn't suddenly become easier, but my mind became calmer. I complained less. I slept better. I wasn't so angry all the time.
That's powerful, and it shows why gratitude matters. It doesn't change your circumstances overnight, but it changes how you experience them.
Exactly. It's like carrying a lighter backpack. Same journey, less weight.
I like that metaphor. You know, for me, gratitude became real when I went through a tough breakup. At the time, I felt completely broken. I kept thinking, why is this happening to me?
That's a natural reaction. When things fall apart, gratitude is usually the last thing on our minds.
True. But one evening, I was sitting alone in my room feeling sorry for myself when my phone rang. It was my mom. She didn't give advice, she didn't lecture me, she just listened. And suddenly I realized, wow, even when everything feels like it's falling apart, I'm not alone.
That's huge. Sometimes gratitude isn't about being thankful for the pain, but being thankful in the pain.
Yes, exactly that. I wasn't grateful for the breakup, but I was grateful for the support, the love, the safe space to heal. That realization didn't erase the pain, but it softened it.
And that's why gratitude matters so much, especially in daily life. We all have bad days. Some days feel like one problem after another. But gratitude gives you something solid to hold on to.
Right. It's like an anchor. When your emotions are all over the place, gratitude keeps you grounded.
You know what else? Gratitude also changes how we talk to people. When you genuinely appreciate someone, it shows. You listen more, you judge less, you don't take them for granted.
That's so true. And in everyday conversations, even small phrases matter. Saying things like, I really appreciate that, or thanks for taking the time, can completely change the vibe.
Yeah, those simple phrases are powerful. And they're easy to use in daily English, too. You don't need complicated words, just honest ones.
Exactly. Gratitude doesn't need fancy language, it's about sincerity. And when you practice it daily, even in short moments like a 5-minute break, a walk, or a quiet morning, it slowly becomes part of who you are.
And once it becomes a habit, you start seeing life differently. You stop sweating the small stuff so much. You realize that not everything needs a reaction.
So, if we had to sum it up, gratitude is not about having more, it's about noticing more.
That's a perfect way to end this part. And honestly, this is just the beginning, because knowing what gratitude is and actually practicing it in real life, those are two very different things.
Exactly. And that's what we'll talk about next, how gratitude shows up in real situations and how we can train ourselves to practice it every day, even when life gets messy.
So yeah, like we said, knowing what gratitude is and actually living it every day are two totally different things. Because when life is smooth, being grateful is easy, but when things go wrong, that's where it gets tricky.
Oh, absolutely. When you're tired, stressed, late for work, and someone cuts you off in traffic, gratitude is not exactly your first instinct. Your instinct is more like, are you kidding me right now?
Yep, road rage is real. But that's exactly why gratitude is powerful in real life. It's not meant for perfect days. It's meant for messy ones.
I agree. For me, the real test of gratitude came during a period when everything felt overwhelming. Work was piling up, I wasn't sleeping well, and I felt like I was constantly playing catch-up.
That feeling of always being behind is exhausting. It's like no matter how fast you run, you're still late.
Exactly. One evening, I was sitting at my desk, staring at my laptop, completely drained. And then I heard my neighbor laughing outside. Just laughing, loudly, freely.
That's such a random moment.
I know, but it snapped me out of my spiral. I remember thinking, wow, someone out there is having a good moment. And instead of feeling annoyed, I felt lighter.
That's interesting. Gratitude doesn't always come from your own life. Sometimes it comes from noticing life happening around you.
Yes, and that's when I realized gratitude doesn't need a special time or place. It shows up in tiny, ordinary moments, sounds, conversations, even silence.
That reminds me of something I do now, especially on busy days. I call it the pause moment.
Pause moment? Sounds fancy. What is it?
It's actually super simple. When I feel overwhelmed, I literally pause for 10 seconds. I stop whatever I'm doing, take one deep breath, and ask myself, what's one thing that's okay right now?
Not perfect, just okay. I like that.
Exactly. Some days the answer is tiny, like at least I'm sitting down, or at least I finished one task. And that's enough to reset my mood a little.
That's such a practical habit, and it fits perfectly into daily life. You don't need an hour of meditation. You just need a few seconds of awareness.
Right. People often say, I don't have time for gratitude. But gratitude doesn't take time. It takes attention.
That's such an important point. And for English learners listening to this, notice how simple the language is. Phrases like at least, right now, one thing. These are everyday expressions you can use immediately.
Exactly. You don't need big words to express gratitude. Saying,
I'm thankful for today, or I appreciate your help goes a long way.
Speaking of appreciation, I noticed something else. When I started expressing gratitude out loud, actually saying it to people, my relationships changed.
In what way?
People softened. Conversations felt warmer. Even difficult talks became easier. Saying something like, I appreciate you listening before giving feedback made a huge difference.
That's so true. Gratitude is like social glue. It strengthens connections without forcing anything.
And the funny thing is, the more you express it, the more natural it becomes. At first, it feels awkward, like you're trying too hard. But after a while, it just flows.
Yeah, it becomes second nature, kind of like learning a language. At first, you think about every sentence. Later, you just speak.
That's a great comparison. Gratitude is a skill, and like any skill, you get better with practice.
So let's talk about practice, real daily practice. Not the write a gratitude journal for 30 minutes, but something that people can actually stick to.
Okay, here's one I use. I call it the end of day rewind. Before sleeping, I replay my day backwards in my head, just quickly, and I stop at one moment that didn't completely suck.
I love how honest that is. Not the best moment, just not terrible.
Exactly. Some days that moment is really small, like a smile from a stranger or finishing a meal, but it helps my brain end the day on a calmer note.
That's powerful. And it trains your mind to look for good moments, even during tough days.
Yes, over time, you start noticing those moments during the day, not just at night.
Another thing that helped me was changing my inner dialogue. Instead of saying, I have to do this, I try to say, I get to do this.
That shift is huge. I have to work versus I get to work. Same reality, totally different feeling.
Exactly. It doesn't mean work suddenly becomes fun, but it reminds you that having responsibilities also means having opportunities.
And again, the language matters. These are simple sentence patterns you can repeat daily. Repetition builds both gratitude and English fluency.
You know what's interesting? Gratitude also helps during conversations when English isn't perfect.
How so?
When you're grateful for the conversation itself, you stop being so afraid of making mistakes. You focus more on connection than perfection.
That's such a good point. When you're present and appreciative, you're more relaxed. And when you're relaxed, you speak better.
Exactly. Gratitude lowers pressure. It tells your brain, it's okay, we're learning.
I think that's why gratitude is such a powerful daily practice. It affects your mood, your relationships, your mindset, even your language learning.
And the best part, you can practice it anywhere, while walking, cooking, commuting, or even waiting in line.
Especially waiting in line. That's prime gratitude practice time.
True. Instead of getting annoyed, you can think, okay, I have a few minutes to breathe.
So if someone listening right now wants to start, I'd say this. Don't overthink it. Start small. Start today.
Yeah, pick one moment a day, one sentence, one breath. That's enough.
Because gratitude isn't about changing your whole life overnight. It's about shifting how you show up in the life you already have.
And when you practice it daily, little by little, you realize something important.
That even on ordinary days, there's something worth appreciating.
Exactly. And those small moments, they add up. They shape how you think, how you speak, and how you live.
So take this conversation with you today. Try one phrase, one habit, one pause.
And remember, gratitude isn't forced positivity. It's quiet awareness.
And sometimes that's more than enough.
Thanks for sharing this moment with us. We really appreciate it.
We do. See you next time.